I'm almost blushing. And Ture has said I'm not allowed to walk so much around that you guys get seasick. So I will try, but I'm not promised that I will stay more here. I started as assistant on fiction film when I was 16 years old. And after some years, my mentor and the editor I was working for kicked me out of the, not of the editing room, but say now you can do it yourself. And I wasn't sure of that at all, but somehow I made it. And since that I have been editing all kind of films. So I have a quite big range of experience in film editing. And the last 15 years I have mainly done creative documentary films. But of course I have learned a lot from the fiction, where in the editing room of fiction, so I have used a lot of the storytelling tricks from fiction films in documentary films. To me, I know there is very different tradition of what a film editor is. In some countries it's a technician that knows something about buttons and all that kind of things. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm a technical imbecile. But I know something about telling stories. And then the editor from the way where I come from has another big advantage. He or she is the first viewer. The director, I know some directors who is great editors themselves, but they are, as I call it, confused by reality. I only see what's on the frame. I don't give a shit if one image is shot after 4 days walking in a wet jungle with mud up to your knees, or if it's shot out of the hotel window. And so do the audience. So that is a big advantage. I'm always, my role is both to be loyal to my director and to challenge him and her. It's a kind of double role. I'm not making my film, I'm making the director's film. But I'm also have to be the one who is asking the questions, to challenge, to be a sparring partner for the director. Okay. But it's storytelling. And why and what is a story? I think most of us will agree in that the world is a mess. And life is quite mysterious. And to me, I think that we are telling stories because we don't like chaos. We want order, we want logic. That is why we human beings all times had created stories. We can look at the Bible, we can look at the Quran, we can look at old Greek plays and text. It is somehow to make an essence of reality and simplify it so we know what's right and wrong. It's an interpretation and need of logic and control. Because we human beings, we hate chaos. And that is why we human beings are telling stories. So, when my director comes back from the chaotic reality, I'm the one that is helping in making a kind of cleansing, an essence out of the reality out there. And I don't think our task is not to reproduce reality. We have to interpret reality. That is the interesting part. I think if we're just reproducing, show the reality, then reality is more fun. Then it's more interesting. So it's only when we are interpreting reality something happens. So, to me, I'm always, in my work, I'm always looking for the universal. Maybe this film is about Peter and Suzanne. But somehow I'm looking for the all, I'm looking maybe for the man. If it's now it was mentioned a man and a woman. So I am looking, and it's a story about love, let's say that. So I'm looking for the universal man in Peter. I'm looking for the universal woman in Suzanne. So somehow we have to lift our story up to a bigger level, also in documentary film. Sorry, I suddenly remember one thing that Chu said I should say in the beginning, but I forgot because that introduction, it's got me confused and blushed. You are very welcome to ask questions, and I have made a plan that you can ask them the last half an hour of my session. Because I have, as a storyteller, I have prepared a kind of logic and order that make me feel safe, and I don't like chaos. And if you interrupt me in the middle, then my logic, and I go from this to that and so on, it will be ruined. So please ask questions, but we take it in the end. So, we are, sorry too, I can't make it. So we are in, not only, to me, it's not only in the process of editing that we are kind of simplifying and clarifying the reality. It's also in the shooting. You are choosing which angle of camera, you are choosing different things, so we are making an essence of reality. And one thing that we should be very much aware of in filmmaking, it is that we are talking to the emotions. That is the very, and often when we are talking about dramaturgy and so on, we are using the words. And that is a problem because what is much more important in film, it is the subtext. And it's how we perform more than what we are saying that is interesting. You are looking at me. It's not only what I'm saying, but it's also the way I'm saying it. It is part of the communication. And we are creating emotions that, and therefore, to me, film is an emotional stream. It doesn't mean that we can't have intellectual thoughts out of emotions. All of us in our life have big emotional experience that makes us think. But we start experience with our heart, our emotions, and then afterward we can think about it.